It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
Unemployment is going to be one that people are going to be really curious about, because here's the Cliff Notes version. It's gotten easier to get. You can get them for a longer period of time, and there's definitely more money involved.
More money.
I mean, it is. I mean, because the average unemployment across the country is right below $400. Here in Tennessee, we looked it up. We're right below Nashville in Franklin, Tennessee. Was it
$257 a week, I believe.
So $257, and what they did was they goosed it to where for the next 4 months you can add $600, whatever your state, because remember, every state administers unemployment. It's not a federal program. It's a state program that then is backstopped, meaning financially they're offering some help to the states by the federal government coming in and helping them out with the money funding of this situation. So for the next 4 months, they are going to juice up the unemployment. They're going to push up the amount that you get by $600. But that's only for 4 months. And realize every state's a little different, but the average for unemployment is about 26 weeks. They also went ahead and said, we're going to extend unemployment from whatever the state average is, or the state amount is, which is typically 26 weeks. We're going to add another 13 weeks to it.
So almost 40 weeks total that you're going to have.
I think that's kind of what the intent was. They were trying to get it pretty close to 40 weeks, which if you do it mathematically, guys, that works out about 3/4 of the year. So they're trying to get you 9 months worth of coverage out of the 12 months. So it is one of those things, but it's you're trying to figure out what to do.
What's the planning opportunity here?
It's really now there are some curveballs. If you're self-employed, this is a unique thing. Typically, you don't qualify for unemployment. You can't, because there's a moral hazard there they're worried about, is that people who claim themselves to be self-employed going and filing for unemployment and getting the free money. Well, these are crazy times. We're paying people not to work. So they have changed the rules, and they said, okay, self-employed people, you now qualify for unemployment benefit. Also, all people who qualify for unemployment, now you don't have a 1 week elimination period or a waiting period, however you want to call it. They've eliminated the elimination period where now you can apply immediately, and you've seen that with the unemployment numbers are spiking tremendously. So we're trying to figure out, for people, this is something, because you're probably talking to your employer, and your employer might not be as financially minded as you are, even though they deal with balance sheets, income statements. Doesn't mean there's a lot of people that aren't money-minded who own companies. We have actually done some math to figure out, where is the threshold for whether somebody should want unemployment or whether a business owner should take advantage of the payroll protection program. Walk them through kind of what we have here, Bo, and then any planning suggestions.
So if you are an employee and you have recently been laid off, a real easy question to ask your employer is, hey, have you heard about this payroll protection program? A lot of folks are asking me about it. Yes, we are going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about
individuals
it in
first, and then we're going to do businesses. You may just want to ask your employer, hey, have you looked into this payroll protection program, paycheck protection program? It might be something to investigate. And they might hire you back because of that. We've actually had conversations with business owners that are hiring back employees that they had to let go because of what's going on right now. So that's the first planning opportunity. If you are a business owner, one of the things you're going to have to figure out when you're thinking about your people, is it more advantageous for me to take advantage of the PPP or for me to keep this person employed, or might it be more advantageous for them to go on unemployment because of this system that's in place? And this will vary, but we figured out employees that are around, what do we say, 25 to 35, somewhere in that range. You really have to do the assessment of if the employee is better off on unemployment or better off. Now, obviously, critical workers that are still doing jobs, don't lay them off to just go get on unemployment. This is if your business is shut down, unable to run, unable to operate. You're trying to figure out what's the best thing for your people.
And if you're trying to figure out, how did you guys come up with $25,000 to $35,000? What we did was we knew on the low end, like Tennessee is like $257, like you said. We know there's a $600 juice up for for 16 weeks or 4 months, and then we know that goes out to almost 40 weeks total. We took the two differences there. We added up how much do all those payments add up to, and then we expanded that up to the average, which is right below $400 a month plus the $600 increase. That's where those numbers are coming from. So that way you can figure out, because remember, the payroll protection program, which we're going to cover in a minute, really is covering 2 months 2.5 if you add in the rent and other things that come into play, whereas unemployment is expected to run much longer. So if you have income, and that's why we want to give some threshold for if your employees are in this 25 to 35, it's definitely something you need to measure twice on, cut once, and
Break out a
just know-
spreadsheet.
Yeah, it's probably going to require a spreadsheet, but it's definitely something to take advantage of. And remember, if you are an employee, you kind of are at the mercy of the situation. That's why I said it. You don't get to go file unemployment until you're truly laid off.
That's
So
right.
I want to make sure I say that because I don't want people showing up at their state unemployment office saying, "Hey,
Hey, hurry up and process it. I
hear
gotta get
there's
back to
free
work."
money," but you have to truly be laid off. So, but these are unique times.